Hello Facebook, I'm coming here to spend time with you and explain the benefits of changing your visa after arriving in the United States. I'm not saying it's a must, but I'm here to present to you some of the benefits and for you to understand how it works. Because the more I do this, the more I understand where the pain points are, okay, and what you need to know and what you need to prepare. So thank you so much for always following. If you haven't followed Janet Rangi, consider following, okay. I'm here for you. I'm here to bring the latest news, and I'm here on the ground to make things happen. Guys, this is happening, okay. And why is it important for me personally? I'm gonna speak from my personal experience. Why this change of status? Why am I doing this? This is from experience, and for most of you and those who will watch this video actually are now in the United States, and then the rest will probably watch tomorrow. The benefits of changing the visa, I've seen it with my own eyes. I have lived in American community since I came to America, and you can leave in the comment section, share with us your stories. The biggest hurdle that finds people when they come to America is having the right papers. Because when you don't have the right papers, basically your life just is messed up. And let me explain to you what I mean by this. When people do not have papers, let's start even with the education. Let's say there were professors at home, there were teachers at home, there were very successful people, there were business people, okay, but they came here, but of course the opportunity was much better than staying back home. You understand? If you do not have papers, that can just go down the drain, because it's like catch 22. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I go back home or do I stay? And this is the message I want us to share in our communities, honestly, to share in our churches, honestly, to share with our cousins, our friends, because there is hope. We didn't know, now we know. Okay, this is very, very important. Your career might end because you did not make the right choice. Okay, we are not saying you cannot stay here, but I'm going to present good ways for you to stay here and never regret, because we don't know what we don't know. It's very common for us to come on a visiting visa and just say, I'm going to stay. You understand? It's very easy, and I don't blame us, because we know it's very, very difficult to go to that embassy and get that visa. And when you come here, we see job opportunities, we see educational opportunities. So then the only way becomes, okay, should I maybe just do asylum or should I marry? Not easy options. Let's talk of asylum. Good. We want you to be safe. Okay? But we know very well that now, when will you see your people? Okay? Because the backlog is just too much. And by the way, that is a judge case. A judge still has to decide on that case. So it's not like guaranteed. But is it that something that people rush to and think like, okay, it's quick? It's safe. Because most people do it for the right reasons. But let's just talk about it so we understand. When you are making that decision, it's the right thing, because you need to be protected. Don't get me wrong. But once you're protected, you get that work permit, you can go to school. And I know when someone is out there at home, they're happy so long as I get the opportunity, so long as I get the opportunity, good. Okay? I understand totally. If there's anything Janet does is to understand her people. I understand the community. I understand the pain points. I understand why we make these decisions. So I understand why we make that decisions. So that's point number one. But we know that we'll stick in the fence. It's true. It's true. We can only look out like this. We'll miss our grandma. We'll miss our grandpa. We'll miss our cousins. We'll miss our family because of the backlog. Okay, not for your own making, but just know that that is a possibility. Okay, but at least, will you have working papers? Yes. Will you be scared if the police are following you behind? No. Can you continue with your career? Yes. Okay, can you go to school? Yes. Can you have a job? Yes. Okay, but you will not connect with your family unless you're one of the lucky ones that got a very good lawyer that took you from point A to point Z and delivered a green card. But if you're one of those people who just go online and then you join the backload of millions who are waiting for years and years, that is something to think about. Even the persecution that caused you to come in the first place, maybe it has resolved. But since you cannot leave, if you leave, by the way, you've told them you are very safe. So they will not let you back in. Okay? That is an option. Do people do that? Yes. They do that for good reasons. Option number two. Tafuta mutu. Okay? Alright. Yeah, but you can fall in love, no problem. Okay, it's difficult. Don't think it's easy. Relationships are not easy. You understand? Because you genuinely, by the way, it has to be legitimate. You understand that, right? Now it's legitimate. Okay? What if you cannot meet the partner's needs? Are you going to depend on these people to what if they let you down? You understand? And I'm, okay, again, I know it's easy to say, tafuta mutu. It's not that easy. Okay? But I'm just telling you, if you're here in America, or if you're outside America, those have been our options. I've just spoken about the other one for Kibizi. That is number one. The second one is tafuta. Okay? More power to you. But I've seen things whereby, we don't, you are not in control, basically. That's what I'm saying. And can you imagine if you find someone who's bad and they report you and this one just found me because of papers. Let's say it doesn't work and you work so hard and go to school and get a career that needs to give you a green card. The fact that that person went and reported you have a bad record. They will not give you, they don't trust you because the American citizen said you used them. And your record will never change. So even if you go to school, you jump hoops, you become a professor, no one will care. You must find a very powerful lawyer for that case to change that record. So people don't think about that. Okay, but are there options? Fine. Let me go to option number 3, which I saw in my own communities. Just come and stay. You have no idea even asylum exists. You have no idea anything else exists. You just stayed. Okay, now can you imagine? I remember one day I had a family. They went to pick their family at the airport. When they saw those dogs, they called them German Shepherd. People are scared. They had to flee the airport. What life is that? I can't even imagine the police following me behind. So that is not quality life. As I said, your career, okay? You are not going to do your career unless you do these other things I've told you, the other 2 options. Your career is in limbo. You can never achieve your full potential. You are always in hiding. You cannot transact business. You cannot transact things freely. Of course, people do. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but me, I'm here to present the total picture. So let's go to the benefits of changing status. Why me personally, I feel like it's a passion. Because I can tell you, if we were to drive in people's homes today, we will see some of us with gray hair. Our mothers have never seen us again since they left us on the plane. Okay? Our children have become teenagers. They've gotten married. We've never seen them again. Okay? So, are we going to sit back and say, hey, lawyers can do this, the law will change, let us vote? Guys, when there are other ways, we don't have to be waiting to vote. We don't have to be looking for lawyers. We just need to have the information. And this is why Janet comes in. I have seen the impact myself with my own eyes. If you have a cousin, if you have a brother, Janet Rangi. Okay, why? Because 100% approval notices. So let's say someone comes on a B visa, okay? Their intent has to be going back home because they will look at that, and that is the mistake some of them. I didn't know you can change. They rush and change. They get a denial. Now they get scared again. They end up in problems. Okay, we know the right ways to do these things. You understand? But this is what I've seen. When someone comes on a visiting visa, their intent was to come for graduation. They will surely go for graduation. I've seen so many people go back home to take care of their families. Maybe they had to take care of their farms, their businesses. They are not ready to stay. But there are some who come and they have the ability to stay and they see good opportunities. The law allows you to stay. Can I repeat again? The law allows you to stay. Something that was not in our communities. Something that was not in the Sunshine Continent. In all these communities, trust me. Okay? You can stay, but how? Student visa. You can change to student visa. Why? What are the benefits of changing to student visa? As I said, you can continue with your career. If you are a professor, you have the potential to remain a professor. Okay? If you are a teacher, you have the potential of remaining a teacher. By going back to school, by improving and having the American education. Number 2, you have time. Okay? And Janet, how does change of status work? It works this way. That visa is infinity. I've seen with my own eyes when they give you permission, your status has been approved. Meaning, they start the date today and they leave the end open. Why? Because they don't know. You might choose to go to a community college for nursing. 3 years. After 3 years, OPT. And then from my people, green card. No marriage needed. Your freedom. You make decisions yourself. Okay? Number 2, you can go to bachelor's degree. How many years? 4. OPT, 1 year. If it's STEM, 3 years, 7 years, right there. Infinity. So much can happen in 7 years. Okay? Number 3, PhD, masters. PhD, 5 years. So now you can even start community college 3 years, OPT. Bachelor's degree 4 years, OPT. Master's 2 years, OPT. PhD 5 years, OPT. 12 years, you keep on going. Of course, we don't want to be that person who is here forever. The cycles continue. That's why the immigration is always busy. We expect that at some point you have to now change again to a green card through your own effort. And I've seen even sometimes in the forums, but people say this, it's not easy. Mapepa ndio ngumu. It's true. But did you have the information that everyone else has? I refuse to take that as an excuse, and most people beat me up for that, but I'm just telling you the truth. Let's tell the people the truth, that there's a pathway. There's a pathway. We cannot have an excuse. Mapepa vindushi. Hey, uribwanji vindushi. Eh? Mapepa, have you tried to change status? I love you. Eh? Okay, now let's talk. Okay, but Janet, the fees. Do I have to be in school? Of course you have to be in school if you change status. Yes, you have to be in school, but that is why me, when I'm looking for a school, I look for cost. I've seen people, Janet said, I can do this. Janet, I can save money, I can just run. They go to a school $50,000 per year. Now they come back to me and say, Janet, I don't have 9,000 this semester. Okay, and so you okay, there are these things so you have to be smart about everything. You have to put in consideration the cost, because once you are approved, yes, you'll be in school. My friends. How long does it take before they approve? It used to be 17 months during the pandemic. It came to 1 year. My clients now is taking them 6 months. I had one that they came back in 3 months. Okay, which sometimes people are not in a hurry. They want to continue enjoying as they wait. But generally, around 6 months, they'll come back to you. Now, will they stamp F1 in your passport? No. You will always remain with the original visa. If you came on J1, which we're also doing, don't come ahead, but Janet, you've talked J1 and home residence requirements. We are helping. Have I successfully helped a J1 become a student? Many. Successfully, yes. Okay, B1, B2, yes. They are now students. They are in nursing schools all over America. No guesswork. So what are we going to tell people? Mapepa. There's no mapepa. It's decisions. It's information. J1 visas, F2s, they want to go back to school. Janet Rangi, successfully. Okay? Now, 6 months, they'll come back with a decision. Will they stamp F1 in your passport? No. You'll still have that visiting visa. You'll still have that J1 in your passport. It will only be permission, and that permission will be sent to the school. Okay, to say that so-and-so now has changed her status from visiting to student. So you now follow the law of F1, which by the way you'll have to pay for service fees, which means you'll have a special number that everyone else got at the embassy through service, so that ICE can know you. If you skip school, ICE will know you skipped school. Okay, now how can you stamp a passport? It means one day when you exit, you have to go to an American embassy at the port of entry to stamp F1. Is it necessary? It's up to you. But anytime you exit, then that is how you come in with a stamp. You understand? But if you stay in America, it will remain like that. But Janet, is expensive. You're expensive, Vinci. Once in America, it's not. It's very cost effective. It's up to you not to find the resources, unless you don't know Janet. I can tell you it's not. Okay? But you have to have the bank statement. It's a full admission in the United States as an international student. And you have to find a school that will sponsor you. Okay? People don't consider the time, because you cannot just come and change. You have to stay a little bit. But after you stay, again, you don't have time. And if you take your matters in your own hands, you start making applications. You don't know whether they will deny admission. You don't know whether they will give you admissions. When I used to call these schools, sometimes they will tell me, yeah, the person that does that is off today. Can you try next week? And then next week I'll try again, and then maybe they're not available. When they are there, oh yeah, we stopped. Oh, we give admission, but you have to go back home in the embassy. So I've done most of the work to lessen the pain. It's very painful sometimes when you have to call and say, we don't do that. You have to go back home. Okay, so those things you will meet them and say, but Janet says you can change status easily. It's not easy. The reason it's easy for my clients sometimes, and they feel, oh, that was easy. No, because someone has had sleepless nights and the pain of calling and doing experimentation so that you can have an easy time. So why am I saying this? Is if it takes as easy as finding Janet to change your life forever, why aren't you taking opportunities And then let me watch on Facebook, or let me watch on those forums you have. My paper. Lack of information. My paper vindushi. I can't repeat this enough. Let's not misinform each other. I love you, I love you, I love you. Let us not misinform each other. And what are the benefits of doing this? The reason why the Sunshine Continent is denied visas at the United States embassies the most is that ability of people not going back. But can you imagine if by then most people are going back? There are people who come because we have a 5-year visa in some of these countries with multiple entries. People still have businesses. They go back home. That is improving our abilities to get visas. You understand? But now if all of us know that there's the right way of doing, we either go back home, but if we stick here, there are those legal avenues that we can use to eventually stepwise. That is just how the laws were created for everyone. We did not know. Now we know. Now we know. Okay, we can actually stay in America permanently without ukimbizi, without makaratasi, without masakara from people. Okay, I'm just telling you, it's your own hard work. You can have your life in control. Okay, and by the way, do you have the green card? It doesn't have to be through nursing. Now we have unskilled labor, which of course during the pandemic they did not use most of the green cards, which they are using on unskilled labor. Okay, and I've said here, some of you probably are waiting for the green card to come to EB3. EB3 is successful too. The recruiters are very enthusiastic. Some of you are the first ones to jump in the ocean. I have to congratulate you, because for each new program, we always want to see who are these first people. And when they sail through, we are very happy. Every product I do, it's very hard, even me for the first client, because what do you tell the client? But it's very rewarding if you sit there and tell your clients, I have 100% success rates. Okay, the least success comes from embassies abroad. Okay, but with American products, the success rate is high there, it's up there. In my case for change of status, 100%. 100%. So far, we say in America, knock on wood. So how can you go confidently in a group on Facebook where other people are listening to you and say the problem in America is masakara? What excuse are you going to have? What excuse are you going to have and sit in those groups and say the problem is makaratasi? It was lack of information. Okay, but that was then. And I know most of you fixed it anyway. You found masakara. Metafta. Okay, you've looked. No problem, but the new ones coming, they are coming in so long as they know Janet. So long as they know Janet. Okay, if they know Janet, I'm graduating. Where's my pic? I wish I could show you a picture. Even right now as we speak, I have a picture of a young girl. She has graduation coming up in May. She's like, Janet, you're invited. From watching from home. Do you understand? Watching this program and understanding how to go to the embassy. And when she got that visa, it didn't even have to be a student visa. When they came on a visiting visa, of course they know the law, go back. But in the event that you want to stay, Janet had told her, you can change status. Now they've changed status. Now they are registered nurses. Graduating in May. From a visiting visa that people used to laugh. Do you know if you come on a visiting visa in America, people will not tell you, but they will be like, oh Lord. Oh Lord. Did you know that? I love you, I love you, I love you. Just be, okay, before Janet Rangi, if you came on a visiting visa to be, oh Lord, sasa kuna hata kudrive, unless you're in Washington. No, makaratasi, no social, no nini. Sasa utafanyaje? Utafanya nini sasa? Utatafutia wapi? Jipange tu. Ni kujikaza tu. Ni kujikaza. Jikaze tu. Kujikaza bindushi. I love you. Okay, we are fixing one. From now on, we should not see anyone turning white hair without seeing their children. If you are a man and you come to America, we want you to go and visit your daughter. You understand? If you left your 2-year-old, we should not hear that your child is 16, 17 and you've never laid your eyes to them. Apana. No. Apana means no. I love you, the Uribwanji people and the Zikomo people. You understand? No. You are going to see your son. You are going to see your daughter. You understand? By making the right decision from day one. So the people who are home, they are coming the right way. You understand? But the people who are here and they didn't know Janet, they are busy. Yeah, maybe if you find a lawyer. The lawyers are busy with corporate clients. The lawyers, probably some of them do not, unless they are immigrants themselves, sometimes they do not know these things. Okay, they are busy with corporate clients. If you tell a lawyer to change for you status, you know what you're telling them? Apply for me at school. Do you think the lawyers have time for these things? Probably not. Okay, so the community has a role. We have a community. Talk to our pastors, talk to our baby showers. Anytime you're in a baby shower, you see someone coming from home, ask their status, my friends. Okay, not in a bad way, but just ask, do you have masakara? Do you have makaratasi? Do you have papers? How new are you? Okay, find out from them. They are fearful. I mean, the first time is enjoyable, the first 1 or 2 weeks. Okay, but find out, because they've never watched Janet. Some of you follow me and you think the whole world knows me. There are many people right now who are taking planes, who will come in your communities, but they will not know. You see sisters in America, post, tell them, no, if you are new on a J1 visa, if you are new on a visiting visa, please do what brought you here. Okay, you can go back home, but in the event that you want to spoil, you don't just disappear. I've just laid the foundation of what will happen to you if you spoil those papers. Anytime you drive, you think someone is following you behind. What will you tell that person? Do you want that life? You came as a professor, you can't improve yourself. Why? Because of that decision. Okay, we are some parts of the country, they are lucky because they are very aware of this. They help them, they have support systems. Some states you will go, you will just suffer and suffer and suffer. I always told, by the way, me, I'm just here for the community. Don't judge me. Okay, anyone listening who doesn't understand what immigrants go through, don't judge us. But me, I have to pass this information because you never know who will listen. If you ever come to America, I've always said, if you have no support, always visit a church. Okay, but visit Facebook pages, connect. But the most important, find yourself in Seattle, Washington. Okay, go to places where they'll support you. And we are not saying that you'll get free benefits. There's this notion where people think you come here, you get free benefits. There's no free benefits. I've always heard even people here in America saying, hey, they come and then they will use social services. How many of you qualify for social services on a visiting visa? You should see in their debates how they say these things. I'm like, oh, which world do these people live? Even if you come on a student visa, no one will give you free money. Me, I don't know. Are there people who get these free things? We pay through our notes for everything. You cannot just show up. The only thing you can show up maybe the emergency room, because they can never turn away. In any part of the world, you can never turn away a patient. That is true. But for me, I'm not an American citizen. You think I can just line up and go to an office looking for free services? Maybe me, I don't know. Me, I don't think that is possible. We always have to work our ways, but you have to go where there's support from other people. You don't want to be struggling. Okay, you don't want to struggle, but you want to do the right things. Me, I'm just telling you, in this day and age, now, let's say we change status and they deny you. You've tried. You have tried. Okay? But, for the most part, so far, doing it myself, I have not seen a denial. What are these people doing after change of status? Of course, now EB3 is coming, which you are waiting to see the results. Some of them have already jumped. They decided to put their heads in, and the recruiters almost giving them jobs. Some of you are still thinking. You are a student in America, and you're thinking twice whether to get into EB3. You are a student in America. You have not decided to go back home. You want to stay, and EB3 is knocking on the door, and you're thinking twice. I'm telling you, for success to happen, it just takes risk-taking. And this case, it's not risk, it's about planning. We fear and fear and fear and fear, and that is why we remain behind sometimes. Not all of us. But if you came to America, you're more likely to be a risk-taker. Most of you are. You believed in yourself, you showed up in that embassy, you presented yourself. And if you're planning to go, you are that kind of a person. Personally, I don't think twice. When I see this thing, if I do, the outcome will be this. I don't think twice. Because I know, even if I was to hide, okay, I will end up buying another sweatshirt. Trust me, I'll end up buying a second pair of shoes. I'll end up buying a new TV. I'll end up buying a car that I should not have bought. When the truth is, I should just have invested in this process of EB3. especially if I'm in America. So if you come here today on a visiting visa, on a J1 visa, let me be clear, some visas you cannot change. Okay, people coming on transit visas like C1D or CID, okay, on the ship, that's a transition visa. You cannot change your status. You will have to go back home. But the good news, people that go back home and ask for visiting visas, they always get because of their intent. They know that these people have been here, they've had a good track record, they've been on the ships, they had a chance to alight, but they did not alight. They did what brought them. So obviously, if you go to the embassy and say, I saw very good things to at the ship and I want my children also to enjoy, they are more likely to give you a visiting visa so that the children can also come and enjoy Disney. Okay, but that CID visa cannot be switched. People that again have listened to me and they come through M1 visa, it's cheap, especially pilots, you know, these unique courses. Okay, M1 visa is for vocational studies. Vocational studies, you do not need credit. They're not going to tell you scored an A, you had a GPA of 3 point something. You just come learn the skill. There is no grading. It's a vocational course. Okay, but you cannot change. It does not have the same power as an F1 student visa. Okay, now let me see. Some people say, Janice, but I'm a CNA. I've heard you say B3. Yes, there are some of these agents that do nursing can also do CNA. But if you are on a visiting visa, listen to me carefully. Janet, but I want to come and then I will do CNA, and then you know what, I've had people helping with CNA for EB3. Okay. You wait until the job files for you. You know what they will ask? Where is the certificate for CNA? For example. Okay, you always have to look 10 miles ahead. Don't look here. Then you produce a certificate. When they look at the times you did for that school graduation was during your visiting visa, you broke the law. Why did you go to school? So you see, and that is a record. It's done. You'll never get any benefit. You broke the law. So when you see me change it, let's change status before we even go to CNA. Don't just come and say, I'll do it. You will do it, but you cannot ask benefits based on that. Okay, so we have to look ahead. Visiting visa is visiting, is touring. Even when you are writing to them, you use words like touring. You cannot use words like training. Touring, see, enjoying, okay, networking, climbing, you know, wherever, rope racing, wherever you are doing. Okay, so you have to change to student so you can have legal papers to even go for CNA. Now, some of you say, but Janet, to save money, I do not have to go for physics because I just know that CNA will help me. Okay, but CNA is not an approved program for international students. Okay, it has to be a service approved program in a service approved school. Okay, CNA is not an approved, certificate programs are not approved. Okay, not all community colleges are approved to offer I-20s to international students. So it has to be a school that is approved to give I-20s, okay, to international students. And the course has to qualify for I-20. Okay, unless I'm wrong, I don't know. In my recollection, if you can change status on CNA. So CNA can be done once you're a student, then you can do it maybe on the side. Okay, I'm just saying. And some of the schools also provide CNA. There are some organizations that provide CNA. But I'm just telling you to be watching those things clearly. Like, are you looking ahead or you're just looking here? Even change of status, I've seen people who are looking here. Then when they come to me, they look at how much I looked at. Where are you living? Where are the costs? Who are your relatives? Did you even look at a school that is willing to release you? Now you've tied yourself, maybe. You accepted a scholarship. Maybe the scholarship says you have to be with them 1 year. And the scholarship you got probably is just as expensive. I've seen people who go to a $50,000 school, 50,000, and then they are given a scholarship of 12,000. And they are happy. Or I was given a scholarship of 20,000. It looks like it's a lot. Okay? So now you are given a scholarship. The fee is 50,000 per year. They gave you a scholarship of 20,000. That is very significant. More power to you. So the remainder that you are responsible is only 30,000. But that is the value of the school. We have people going to school for 19,000 and 25,000. So what are you saying? What scholarship did you get? I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And that scholarship will tie you in that school unless you pay back. Voila. Okay? These are not things for the faint-hearted. It's a lot of knowledge that goes into these things. Always you contact a lawyer. And again, as a lawyer, they might not know all these things. And you think just because having a paper, I am in the medical profession. I can testify to you. Just because we are all medical does not mean we are very competent in helping mothers give birth. If I've put my life in psychiatry, I'm going to diagnose everything in psychiatry. But if you throw me in labor and delivery, I might not know some of those medicines. Okay? So just don't assume because you have a lawyer, they know what they are doing. It's in every profession, even medical. That is why you go to a specialist. The last time maybe, a cardiologist saw a pregnant woman, well, they still practice because, don't get me wrong, we look at the total picture. But what I'm just saying, generally speaking, if you are to narrow down, you are more likely to know everything about a subject that is very, very narrow. But if someone asks you widely, okay, now if you come to me as a lawyer and I find you a $60,000 school, I've done my job. Now you cannot come and say, oh, but you did not, you tell me it's expensive. Okay, and that is why sometimes you have to understand what you are doing. It's the big picture. What is Janet saying? Okay, going forward, we are going to have a successful community. We are going to have a community that understands that you have options. You do not have to hide. You do not have to stay with a profession you don't like. You do not have to be working in what I love group homes. Me, I come, the first thing I'm getting myself a group home. Me, I'm coming today, I'm working as a CNA, you like it or not, if I have papers to work. I am not choosing, by the way. I will work in fast food. Me, I will be a janitor. I'll do anything to put food on the table. Okay? But what is your career after that? Do you want to do that? Because if you go in restaurants here in America, most of us are students. Okay? If you see someone serving in a restaurant, most likely they are university students. That is their part-time job. Okay, do they plan to stay in that job for life? No, they are preparing to go to school to become teachers. They are preparing to go to school for something bigger. But meanwhile, they are busy doing these things. So you need to be thinking like that. Is this something I want to do the rest of my life? And with that, you will understand the benefits of changing status. Okay, we did not know, now we know. This new generation, because of technology, they are very aware. Okay, of course, janetrangi.com. Janet Rangi 67@gmail.com. We are saving lives every day. It's not saving, but improving. Okay, Janet Rangi 67@gmail.com. Oh, just go to janetrangi.com. That URL is mine. It's fully secure. Okay, fully secured. janetrangi.com. The contacts will be there. You can email info@janetrangi. Those emails just come to 67. I use 67 because most of you know it. But if you go on that website and you say info@janetrangi, that is the business email, it will just drain into what we have. Okay, we have a very good technology guy full-time, morning through evening, guarding the site. You understand, and helping people. It works perfectly. We've never had any issue on my website. Okay, if someone has come on some of you come say, Janet, but is the website secure? Okay, let me just spend some time and then I will go. Since we started, if someone has an issue on the website, especially with the payment systems, it's usually the client, not us. And we can go on the back end and produce a record. Usually insufficient funds, or the bank has blocked because that region, they don't trust people. Okay, but since Safaricom came, they give people Visa cards. We are not having any issue. Number two, when you see people, especially a credible website, and you know me, have you ever seen someone that comes and talks to you who has an address? You can even just tell people there. One thing, I provide a service. Whether I fail or not, the service will be provided. 100% it will. Okay? But when you go on that website, when you see a website, especially the money system, it's not Janet guarding it. Okay? Just for you who are not in IT. It's not our sites. The money system we call like plugins. It's like a plug. Okay? You borrow a plug. Okay? Technology plug, technology code. You plug in the website. This code has been designed by the bank. So the information you are putting in is going through this code. It's not Janet Rangi website. All the money systems are connected worldwide. This technology and the security system is Bank of America. Okay? And Stripe. And the SWIFT system. Okay? We have nothing to do with that. What our technology experts do is to borrow this code and plug in our website. We have nothing. So does that make you feel secure? So from now on, just that's how it works. For me, I provide security because they want to know who is this Janet. That is how it works. And that is how I go on the website. Okay? But if that helps you to feel comfortable, but I can promise you, we've never had issues. When I first started, maybe it's just issues with coding, but that's fixed. But in terms of security, you are going through security systems, international. You are not coming through Janet. Okay? Any website, just all they need is a plugin. Okay? The plugins have nothing to do with individuals. So guys, when you come here, we are ready for you. Change your status. Okay? See your children. Travel back home. By the way, change of status. Now, let me go. I'll make another video. Change of status. Can I travel back home? Yes, you can. But you have to look for something called advance parole. Okay? Just imagine when you came as a J1 or a visitor. You entered the country. Okay? The system, the computers know you as a J1 person from the embassy or from a visiting visa. Now you reach here, you change. So if you exit without permission, when you come back, who are you? Are you a change of status person? Are you a student? Are you what? So the reason why you do advanced parole in simple terms is to reconcile your records and have that permission. That means the system has been told, hey, look at Janet. She came as a visitor, but she came and requested to change as student. Now she has been approved as student. Here's the document. So when she comes and you punch this information, it will just say, welcome. Okay, so never exit without knowing. As I said at the beginning of this video, they will not ask for your passport change of status. You stay with your passport. You just see a notice on your website, on your account, the school account, that you've been given permission. You are no longer a visitor. Now you're a student. Okay, the person that stamps has to be outside the United States. Stamps are meant for international embassies. They are not meant for America. Okay, that is how they do it outside. So for you to stamp, you have to exit, go stamp it, and then come back in. Okay. Any questions? I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay? I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Tell your family members, your friends, everything. Their future starts with Janet Rangi with that consultation. You understand? Because that consultation means that you will stay in America permanently, you know, legally, with good education, with good papers. That is what it means. At the end of the day, it's service to the community. Okay? We serve, we are serving, and we are changing one life at a time. Every day. janetrangi.com, janetrangi67@gmail.com. I love you wherever you are. Zikomo, asanteni sana, kwa herini. Okay, no more complaints of masakara, no more complaints of makaratasi. And let us lead. Let us not mislead, because we don't know. We didn't know. Now we know. If we don't know, now you have Janet. We will try our best. Okay, but let us go back and visit our families. Let us have the right papers, because no one has denied us. We just did not know. No more hiding. Change your status. I will see you in the next video. Okay guys, I love you so much, and bye bye.